Chosen one, the universe has been carefully weaving a plan for the love that's meant for you. And now, finally, that divine thread is pulling everything together. Love is not late. It's not missing. It's not lost. It has simply been aligning with the timing that matches your soul's readiness. This is not ordinary love. This is love wrapped in destiny, a divine connection that speaks your name in silence and echoes your heart without words. It was written long before the pain, protected during your isolation. And now, as the season turns, it begins just for you. Watch this video until the very end. Let the words and energy reach every part of you that's been patiently waiting for this moment. Write your warmest wishes in the comments below and type the number 99. Not just as a symbol, but as a declaration that your heart is open and that love is already flowing toward you. When you share your wishes, you are energizing the universe and unlocking divine alignment for not just yourself, but for every other chosen one reading it. Let's activate this together. Let love begin now. Chosen one, press the hype button and like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. The plan was never random. The delays were not punishment. The silence wasn't rejection, it was preparation. What's beginning now is not just about another person entering your life. It's about a divine shift in your energy, a sacred invitation to experience the frequency of love in its highest form. Not performance, not pretense, not patterns repeating, but prophecy fulfilling. And you, chosen one, are the center of that prophecy. You are the reason love had to wait. You are the reason God held certain people back from getting too close too soon. You are the reason the universe whispered, "Not yet." Because what's coming isn't casual, it's covenant. And a covenant doesn't rush, it doesn't panic, it doesn't force or fear or manipulate. It arrives when everything has matured, when both hearts are ripe, when the past is no longer heavy, when the scars have turned to stars, when the wounds become wisdom. That is when covenant love begins. That is when the universe says now, and now is here. There's a sacred alignment taking place, unseen to the naked eye, but undeniable to the soul. You've likely been sensing it in your dreams, in your spirit, in the way the days feel a little different now. You've noticed signs that don't make sense on the surface, but stir something in your intuition. That's not your imagination. That's your confirmation. That's heaven's whisper, reminding you that love is on the horizon. Not just any love, your love. The one that feels like coming home. The one that was meant for your DNA, your design, your destiny. Because God didn't create you to be halfway loved. God didn't call you to feel overlooked or forgotten. You were set apart, preserved, sealed with a spiritual signature that only the right soul would recognize. That's why past relationships couldn't hold you. That's why others tried to fit but failed to stay. Because the love that was chosen for you had to be shaped by divine hands, not human hurry. And the one coming, they've been shaped too. They've been molded in silence, matured in solitude, transformed by trials, just like you. They've carried questions only your presence can answer. They've endured storms that prepared them to cover you, protect you, honor you. They've cried the same prayers. They've asked the same questions. They've searched the earth for something they couldn't name. And now, by divine orchestration, their spirit is being guided to you. This is the part of the story where everything starts to align. This is the chapter where old wounds become new wings, where timing no longer hurts, where loneliness no longer lingers, where you realize that every no was leading to this yes, And this, yes, will be undeniable. You'll feel it in their eyes, the way they look at you like a familiar star finally returned. You'll feel it in their words, the way they understand what you don't even say. You'll feel it in their silence, the way their stillness matches your peace. You'll know it not because it's perfect, but because it's promised, because God allowed it, because the universe sent it, because your soul has always known it. And though the world may not understand it, it will be obvious to those who carry light. The love that's coming for you is not flashy, but it's fierce. It's not loud, but it's loyal. It doesn't compete. It completes. It doesn't confuse. It clarifies. It doesn't drain. It deepens. And it doesn't perform. It protects. There will be no need to beg for attention, no need to question intentions, no need to lower your standard. This love will meet you on the mountaintop of your self-worth. This love will be your mirror, reflecting the version of you that God always saw even when you couldn't. This love will remind you that waiting wasn't wasted, that delay was design, that your heartbreak was heaven's redirection. Because, chosen one, there is a force in the universe that has protected your heart like a treasure chest. And now, the key is being handed to the one who knows how to open it, gently, sacredly, intentionally. Not to steal, but to stay. Not to break, but to build. Not to rush, but to rise with you, for you, beside you. This is more than romance. This is restoration. This is not just partnership. This is prophecy. So prepare your spirit. Love is not knocking, it's entering. And it's not here to test you. It's here to treasure you. It's not here to confuse you. It's here to crown you. It's not here to revisit your pain. It's here to rewrite your path. This is the kind of love that doesn't require convincing. It speaks with presence. It moves with peace. It carries the fragrance of forever. And it knows your name even when you haven't spoken it yet. The universe is not just watching, it's weaving. And the thread it's using, it's golden, it's sacred, it's yours. So when it arrives, you won't need to question it. You'll recognize it because the language it speaks will match the one your soul has been whispering all along. And that language is love. Love in its purest form isn't loud when it enters. It's luminous. It wraps itself around the edges of your existence without crashing in. It appears like dawn, not thunder. But even in its quiet entrance, it shifts everything. Chosen one. Something in your life is shifting now. Not because you're chasing love, but because you're aligned with it. You've walked through fire and chosen not to become bitter. You've faced abandonment and refused to close your heart. You've been overlooked and still held space for compassion. That level of strength rewrites spiritual laws. It creates openings in dimensions you cannot see. And that is why, right now, love is not just searching for you. It's gravitating to you. There is something magnetic forming around your energy. Not because you're pretending to be perfect, but because you're standing in the truth of who you are. You've healed what most people hide. You've forgiven what most people hold on to. You've stepped into an identity that can no longer be defined by pain. And that chosen one is what activates the divine unfolding of love. God is not sending you another test. He is sending you a reflection. Someone who doesn't trigger your trauma, but treats it gently. Someone who doesn't call you too much, but sees you as just right. Someone who doesn't just notice your light. They match it. Someone who doesn't come to dim your flame, but to fan it. This is sacred timing. And the universe has been busy behind the scenes, orchestrating a collision between two souls who have prepared in silence, grown in private, and now are being pulled by invisible cords into each other's orbit. You may not know the day. You may not recognize the moment, but your spirit will feel the quake. Because this is the kind of love that doesn't sneak in. It awakens. It won't just enter your life. It will enter your atmosphere. It's going to touch the way you think, rearrange the way you feel, realign your direction, not in the name of control, but in the name of calling. Because when love is sent from God, it doesn't compete with your purpose. It complements it. You are not being called to pause your destiny for love. You are being called to partner your destiny with love. This love will carry the fragrance of purpose. It will feel familiar but new. It will feel soft but secure. It will make your old versions sigh in peace, not because they're invalidated, but because they've been seen and finally released. You'll no longer have to carry your heart in defense mode. You'll no longer have to explain why you move the way you move. You'll no longer have to shrink your power to keep someone comfortable, because what's beginning now was tailor-made for your truth. It fits your light. It holds your complexity. It doesn't run from your layers. It learns them. Chosen one. The love that's forming in the spiritual realm is one that doesn't simply understand your soul. It's connected to it. It knows your rhythm because it was carved from the same frequency. It sees your storm because it's weathered the same skies. It recognizes your silence because it's walked in the same stillness. And when you come face to face with this divine presence, it will feel like reading a book you've never opened but somehow memorized. There will be no need to armor up, no need to decode behavior, no need to suppress your softness. Your presence will be enough. Your peace will be welcomed. Your scars will be honored. Your heart will be protected, not as a task, but as a joy, because that's the plan God had all along. He wasn't just protecting you from harm. He was preserving you for the sacred. He wasn't just closing doors. He was guarding gates. He wasn't just isolating you. He was anointing you. And love in its divine arrival will confirm all of that. This is not the season to question your worth. This is not the time to relive old cycles. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are exactly on time for the unveiling of the love you were promised. And that love, it's already in motion. Heaven has already released the frequency. Earth is already echoing it. Your spirit has already said yes. What remains now is the encounter. And when it happens, it will not just be a meeting of two people. It will be a merging of timelines, of prayers, of healed heartbreaks, of sacred memories you haven't even lived yet. The beginning will not feel like the beginning. It will feel like remembering. And that's how you'll know. Because true love doesn't invent safety. It remembers it. So stay steady in your spirit. Keep walking in alignment. Keep trusting the divine pull, because everything around you is responding to the love that's rising within you. And the universe is not guessing. It's guiding. It's not unsure. It's unfolding. It's not playing games. It's fulfilling prophecy. Because God doesn't tease. He completes. He finishes what he authors. And love, the kind that changes your life, has always been part of that design. Chosen one, you have walked through valleys of silence where love seemed like a distant echo, where companionship felt like a story written for others, but paused in your own narrative. You watched as others were celebrated, embraced, chosen, and quietly you kept walking. Not because you weren't capable of attracting love, but because your spirit couldn't afford to settle for a connection that didn't reflect the magnitude of your divine calling. And now you are being honoured for that restraint in the most powerful way, with a love that mirrors not your old wounds, but your newly risen wisdom. You are being called into a chapter that does not repeat cycles. It redeems them. This love that's approaching was not created to repair what someone else broke. It was not formed to soothe pain that was caused by temporary people. It was not shaped to act as a replacement for the voids created in your most fragile moments. No, this love was born of clarity, divinely protected in realms beyond sight, so that when it reached you, it would carry no confusion, no competition, and no compromise, only peace, only alignment, only purpose. And that purpose is starting to reveal itself to you. It may not arrive with fireworks, but it will bring something far more powerful. The inner stillness that lets you know you are no longer alone in your depth. You will encounter someone whose presence feels like being understood without having to translate your heart. Someone who has not come to assess your worth, but to witness it. Someone who won't shy away from your intensity, your complexity, or your vision, because they too have travelled the lonely road of becoming. And now they are ready to walk with you as equals on a shared path, not just in love, but in destiny. This love won't demand a version of you that was never meant to exist. It won't require you to perform for attention or silence your truth to keep the peace. Instead, it will meet you in the fullness of your growth and honour every step you took to arrive here. Every heartbreak that tried to convince you love wasn't real. Every moment of doubt that whispered you were asking for too much. Every prayer that left your lips when your heart was aching in silence. It will all be answered, not in grand speeches or empty promises, but in daily presence, in consistency, in safety, in knowing. You will no longer feel the need to walk on emotional eggshells or decode the mixed messages of someone unsure about what they carry. This time, love will not whisper uncertainty. It will declare stability. And you will feel it in the way they stay. Not just in the beginning, but through the unravelling and rebuilding of each layer of your story. There will be no pressure to hide the chapters you once felt ashamed of. Instead, those pages will be read with reverence, not pity, because the person coming into your life has known their own wilderness and has learned how to honour sacred ground. They won't arrive with a need to manage you or mould you, nor will they attempt to diminish what makes you rare. They have not been sent to control your light or contain your brilliance. Instead, they will naturally rise to meet it, not through imitation, but through integration. They will understand that your power does not threaten them. It invites them to expand, that your vision doesn't overpower. It illuminates, that your softness is not weakness. It is the mark of someone who has survived the storm without losing their ability to feel. This is the kind of love that doesn't rush in to claim ownership of your time, your emotions, or your identity. Rather, it moves with patience, with reverence, with discernment. It doesn't approach you with the urgency of possession, but with the steady intention of building a sacred partnership. And in that energy, you will no longer feel like a project someone is trying to fix. You will feel like a masterpiece someone is blessed to behold, because the one destined for you won't come searching for flaws to correct. They will come ready to learn your language, your rhythm, your internal compass. They won't be overwhelmed by the intensity of your dreams or the silence in your stillness. They will have enough presence to sit with your quiet and enough confidence to walk beside your strength. There will be no attempts to minimize your story or edit your truth. Instead, your truth will be held like treasure, not because it is perfect, but because it is sacred. And you, chosen one, will find yourself experiencing a kind of peace that does not ask you to tone yourself down or armor yourself up. Your essence will finally be met by someone who has been forged in the same kind of fire. Someone who understands that love is not about fixing what is broken, but about creating a space where nothing has to break at all. Someone who will not only listen when you speak, but who will also feel your energy when words fail. This is not someone who comes to rescue you from your past. This is someone who walks with you into the future, unafraid of your vision, unshaken by your power, and unwavering in their devotion. Together, you will not merely exist, you will expand. You will not just survive, you will soar. The two of you will become evidence that love does not require sacrifice of self, but celebration of it. There will be room for both of you to shine, room for both of your callings to breathe, room for both of your histories to be held without judgment, room for your dreams to cohabitate in harmony, because the divine does not pair you with someone to reduce you. It pairs you with someone who reflects the God light within you back to you and reminds you that you are not too much, too intense, or too far gone. You are in fact perfectly timed for love's arrival. So do not shrink in fear. Do not question what is beginning to take shape. The alignment has already happened in the spiritual realm. The two timelines are already touching. Your name has already been spoken in the ear of the one who is destined to walk this next stretch of the journey with you. You do not need to reach out to grab it. Only open your spirit to receive it. Because what's coming is not an illusion. It's not a temporary high. It's not a karmic return disguised as a blessing. It is the manifestation of every healed moment, every surrendered longing, every lesson you endured and emerged from with grace. It is the union of two whole beings, not searching for completion, but ready to co-create something eternal. Love is beginning for you, but not just love in the way the world defines it. This is sacred connection. This is the fruit of obedience to your soul's unfolding. This is the reward of choosing inner work over outward distraction. And now that your spirit is ready, love is ready too. Chosen one, as love rises toward you, there is something deeper being revealed. Not just about what love is, but about who you are when you are loved correctly. This is more than the arrival of another person. This is a resurrection of everything within you that was once buried beneath survival. This is the return of your softness, your curiosity, your lightness. It's the return of your laughter, not guarded by fear, and your joy not filtered through skepticism. Because divine love doesn't just touch your heart, it revives your essence. And you are ready now, not just to be seen, but to be known. To be known not only for what you do, but for what you carry. Not only for your strengths, but for your subtleties. For the tiny details most people miss, because they never look deeply enough. You are ready to be met at your soul's core, without performance, without projection, and without delay. Because what's beginning for you was never dependent on how well you could hide. It was always tied to how courageously you would shine, and shine you did. Even in rooms that didn't understand you, you stood in your truth. Even in seasons of disappointment, you chose hope. Even in relationships that cracked your heart open, you remained loyal to your capacity for love. And that loyalty to your divine nature has not gone unnoticed by God. Because every act of love you gave when it wasn't returned, every gesture of kindness you offered without expectation, every boundary you enforced even when it was painful, those became the spiritual blueprints for the love now on its way to you. That was the energetic signature the universe needed to align you with a partner who would not take you for granted. Someone who recognizes your love not as a resource to consume, but as a miracle to honor. This person is not arriving to fill your life with chaos disguised as passion or confusion presented as depth. They are not here to mirror the wounds of your past or to replay the dynamics you already healed. They are entering with the calmness of someone who has also wrestled with loneliness, also fought their own shadows, also chosen light when it would have been easier to stay numb. They are not intimidated by your growth. They're inspired by it. They are not threatened by your vision. They are aligned with it. They are not afraid of your silence. They understand its sacredness. They will not approach you with fear-based attachment, but with faith-based intention. And in their presence, you will not feel the need to convince or explain. You will simply be fully, freely, safely. Because this is not the beginning of another cycle. It is the closing of every old loop that taught you how to overfunction for love. It is the moment you realize that love was never supposed to be hard. Yes, it takes effort. Yes, it grows through seasons. But the effort should never feel like erosion. The growth should never cost you your peace. And now it won't, because God did not design your life to revolve around proving your value to someone who couldn't recognize your depth. He did not pour spiritual inheritance into you only to have it mishandled by someone unequipped to carry it. That's why it felt like rejection before. But in truth, it was divine protection, a holy route, a purposeful pause. Now that the pause is lifting, the pace of love is beginning to flow in your direction, not as a tidal wave to overwhelm you, but as a sacred current to carry you forward. This current will be gentle yet powerful. It will move in harmony with your desires and your destiny. It will not ask you to shrink, but will create space for your expansion. There will be a natural rhythm between you and this person, almost like you've danced before in some sacred memory stored in eternity. Your conversations will not feel forced. They will feel like rivers returning to the ocean. There will be pauses that don't feel empty and eye contact that speaks an ancient language. There will be no mask to remove, because with them you will never have to wear one. Their presence will be healing, not because they are perfect, but because they are present. And in that presence, you'll find the safety you once believed only existed in your imagination. But now, it will be embodied. It will be real. It will be here. You'll notice how love expresses itself in the smallest things. The way they remember the words you only said once. The way they notice the details of your inner world. The way they hold your emotions without flinching. And the way they move through life with you. Not ahead of you or behind you, but beside you. Always beside you. You will no longer have to question their motives or decode their energy. You will no longer carry the silent fear of being too much or not enough, because this connection will arrive as clarity, not the kind that forces understanding, but the kind that arrives with no resistance, the kind that reminds you of what you've always known deep down, that you are worthy of a love that does not ask you to negotiate your wholeness for connection. This is a relationship built in spirit before it ever became real in time. It was woven in the fabric of the unseen long before your paths ever crossed. And now those paths are merging, not out of desperation, but out of divine decision. You are not being thrown into another lesson. You are being invited into a legacy, a sacred alignment that speaks to your divine design, a connection that will not interrupt your calling, but will ignite it. And this connection, it won't only change your love life, It will unlock a version of you that's been waiting for this type of love to emerge. A version of you that is softer but stronger. A version of you that laughs without looking over your shoulder. A version of you that creates freely, dreams bigger, and gives without fear of loss. Because true love, the kind God designed, doesn't make you smaller. It gives you room to become who you've always been. So prepare for that becoming. It's not just about a partner arriving. It's about your soul entering its most vibrant state. It's about your heart remembering what it feels like to trust. It's about your energy no longer leaking into places that were never meant to hold it. It's about the return of hope, not as a fragile wish, but as a firm reality. This is not the end of the waiting. This is the fulfillment of it. The universe has done its part. God has signed off on it. And now love begins for you, not someday. Now, chosen one, what you're stepping into now isn't simply a relationship. It's a divine unveiling of everything the universe has kept wrapped in mystery until the right time. This is not a moment that love simply arrives. It is the moment when love reveals what it always was. Even when you couldn't see it, even when you doubted it, even when all the evidence around you pointed toward absence, it was never absence. It was alignment. Love was never lost. It was being led to you. You didn't miss your chance. You didn't ruin the opportunity. You didn't fall behind. You grew into exactly who you needed to be to receive what was always yours. And now that you're no longer afraid of being alone, now that you've learned the art of solitude without shrinking into self-doubt, now that you've stopped reaching for hands that don't reach back, love has been cleared for landing. Not love wrapped in fantasy, but love rooted in divine foundation. Love that can stand through pressure. Love that sees clearly. Love that doesn't disappear when things get quiet, but becomes louder in loyalty. Because true love, the kind born from God's timing, does not flinch when things get real. It deepens. And the one who is on their way to you has walked through their own wilderness to earn that depth. This person didn't arrive early because early would have hurt you. Early would have distracted you. Early would have cost you your elevation. That's why the delays weren't denials. They were detours meant to protect your promise. Because what is about to arrive doesn't only serve your emotions. It serves your purpose. You're not being paired with just a person. You're being aligned with a presence. Someone whose life has been spiritually pruned and emotionally refined just as yours has. Someone who carries emotional intelligence that's not performative but practiced. Someone who doesn't just say the right things but lives in alignment with them. This isn't a love born in longing. It's a love born in legacy. Together, you will not just fall in love. You will rise in it. You will build something that speaks to generations after you. Something that carries spiritual architecture. Something that touches more than just your hearts, but also your divine assignments. And the relationship itself will not feel like you've entered a performance where masks are worn and roles are acted out to avoid rejection. Instead, it will feel like breathing, natural, unforced, life-giving. The presence of this person will not create tension, but release it. They will not bring confusion to your life, but clarity. Not because they solve all your problems, but because they carry presence, not pressure. You'll begin to notice it early. The way they listen, not just with their ears, but with their soul. The way they respond to your vulnerability, not with discomfort or dismissal, but with reverence. The way they see past the surface and speak directly to the part of you you've kept most guarded. And somehow, when they look at you, it won't feel invasive. It will feel like finally being seen. this person will not project their pain onto you. They will not weaponize your love to feel powerful. They will not manipulate your light because they don't yet understand their own. Instead, they will stand in their own identity and celebrate yours without needing to diminish it. You will feel the difference because where others required you to shrink, this person creates space. Where others tried to mold you into their comfort zone, this person meets you in your growth zone. Where others feared your truth, this person welcomes it and honors it as sacred ground. And when you speak of your past, they won't flinch. When you show your scars, they won't retreat. When you express your vision, they won't try to reduce it because they've also walked through fires that left them changed. They've also had to rebuild who they are from the inside out. They know what it's like to long for something deeper while being surrounded by superficiality. This love is born from spiritual compatibility, not just emotional attraction. There will be alignment in your values, not just chemistry in your energy. There will be purpose in your timing, not just pleasure in your connection. You won't have to fight for consistency, question intentions, or compromise your soul to make it work. What's coming is not another test. It is the answer.